Usted está acusado por homicidio agravado. Si usted se declara culpable, le pueden rebajar la condena a la mitad. Necesito corroborar que su niño fue abusado antes de morir, como usted dice. Necesito su permiso para exhumar el cadáver del niño.
El niño entró despacito. Con un hijo muerto es suficiente para mí.
Pablo es su hijo, ¿no? De aquí no sale nada si yo no quiero.
Dime la muela.
¡Segundo! ¡Apagando! Vaya, hágale la vuelta a ese perro.
¿A cuál de los dos?
This new film, Dark Blood, I mean, it's just obviously very serious, but I guess since we were already talking about it, did you have to kind of get into a particular shape to be in that? Or
Oh, yeah.
you're already,
Well, a lot
you
of
have a lot of,
research.
sorry.
I did a lot of research. I went, it was shot in Colombia with the biggest director in Colombia's history, who's had the biggest hits. And, but they were comedies. So he wrote
I
this
noticed
serious
that.
piece.
Right.
Yeah.
What a transition. I mean,
Well, yeah,
it's
huge.
remarkable. His name is Harold Trump. Careful with the spelling here, because it's Trompetero.
Yeah, not Trump. Yeah.
No.
Trompetero, not Trump.
Trompetero.
Yeah. So I went to the prisons in Colombia and studied them and spent time there talking to the guards and the warden. Then we went and shot in a real defunct prison outside of Bogota.
Oh, okay.
And some of the ex-prisoners, cons, became consultants for our movie who were in that little prison. So they kept us honest and kept us together. It was tough. It was a tough flick, man. I mean, Colombia does not have actors unions or directors unions, and I've been trying to help the actors unionize in Colombia so they have more protections, because it was rough. I mean, I was sleeping on real cold floors, taking ice cold showers in the open air, naked. I mean, the fights, there were no stunt coordinators. The poor guard who was older than myself slipped, cracked his head open. There was no medic. The veterinarian for the dog stitched him up.
Yeah.
It was rough. I was like, this might be my last rough movie. I don't think I'm going to rough it like that anymore.
Not quite a SAG operation going there, but it does lead, but I still, on another level, I'm from the audience or viewer experience. It's like, wow, what an accomplishment. Like as far as our experience of seeing it, I'm sure it sounds like it was a rough shoot, of course, but it seems to have on some level paid off. Hopefully for you. Hopefully you feel that way, because it's I weighed the pros and cons before I decided to do something. But what were they though? What were the pros and cons? But you would make a choice to do a Spanish language. I mean, a Spanish language film, and under such conditions, and no one in the States probably knows anybody else in the film.
Right. I mean, these are all
unless
great
they happen to be
actors,
Colombian,
Yeah. These are all like big actors in Colombia, like the best of the best,
Right.
The Pacinos and De Niros of Colombia that I got to work with.
Yeah.
I just thought the story was really powerful, man. we've all had feelings that if somebody were to hurt one of our family members, especially our children, that we would go ballistic, we would go postal. And this is a story of a man who did. His child was molested, and he took justice into his own hands and was arrested, rightfully so, for killing the perpetrator.
Right.
And now he's in jail and trying to improve his innocence. You know, that it was
Innocence or
right, not a complete innocence, because he did kill someone.
Yeah, right.
But was it
right.
justified? Yeah, is killing anybody ever justifiable? I mean, I thought those were all like really great things to study and to explore.
Right. However, this film, you could have done a film, I suppose, like it in the States. I guess what I'm saying is not that I totally was really, I mean, my reason for really being interested was because this was just such almost like an outlier for somebody who's been doing a lot of, I mean, you do some independent stuff for sure.
Oh my Lord, my favorite film form is independent films, and it's kind of sad that they're fading away a little bit, because it's my favorite genre. Theater and independent films are I feel like it's that they're art. You're making art. You're not doing a commercial flick. You're not trying to get butts into seats. You're not, you're just doing things that you're passionate about. And I love the way this film was coming together. It was very real. There was no artifice. There was no, it wasn't performative. It was trying to be as real and gritty as possible. And I loved that challenge. That's one of my favorite things, is to be as real and authentic as I can be.
And I mean, it's in Spanish language with English subtitles. But it's a real opportunity. There's obviously a huge audience for Spanish language films, which is, I think it's beginning to, maybe the States are sort of beginning to understand that like. Yeah.
It's true that we're in a moment right now. We're in a moment where Spanish language films in America are not just for Spanish speakers. They become the thing. They become the hot new commodity, and all the streamers are looking for that, the Spanish language shows, the Spanish language, and then the bilingual space is also starting to become a thing. Mm-hmm. Like half Spanish, half English, or Spanglish, which is like a Yiddish type thing.
Right, a Creole.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, gotcha. And so is your family? You have some family from Colombia?
Colombia, yeah, my mother's side, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So was that also a reason, or an impetus for you to sort of do a film there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been trying to sort of recuperate my Spanish. I came here when I was 3 years old, and kind of lost. Yeah, I lost all my Spanish. So I was trying to like recuperate it and bring it back. And I've been studying really hard. I've had teachers, and to go any reason to shoot in Latin America is always a big plus for me. I always feel like it just I don't know, like so healing for me, so soulful, and especially to be with family. And then I brought my daughter came with me. She was in pre-production there with me, and so sharing that moment, being creative together, because my daughter wants to be an actress. So sharing the creative process with her and my family and the culture, it's powerful.
Of course, she wasn't on the set. How old is she?
Well, now she's 21. Back then she was a little younger. Yeah. Sure.
Well, she was old enough mature enough, I suppose, emotionally to be on that set, maybe.
No, she left before we started shooting. I just had her there for pre-production because there was a lot of other rough stuff that I don't need to be doing that in front of my daughter.
Although she'll probably see the movie, but
I won't let her.
Not for now.
No, let's wait a couple of years.
Yeah, but in the tradition of I'm trying to remember the name of the movie that came out. We probably both saw it at the same time. I saw it at the Midway Theater. In fact, I can remember in Queens.
The big Midway Theater.
What was the one with John? No, it was Brad. The actor Brad. I'm not prepared. I wasn't necessarily thinking.
Not Brad Pitt.
Not Brad Pitt. No, an earlier. No, the guy. It was about the guy who was in the Turkish prison for trying to smuggle.
Oh yeah.
You know
the Oliver Stone movie.
You wrote it.
Exit.
No, before that even. I think it was like in the. Anyway,
the one he's in the Turkish prison. The one he's in the Turkish prison. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Oliver
Stone wrote it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then there was of course Papillon before that. I mean, there's like a.
Right.
This is sort of in that tradition of
of extreme prison violence and violations and deprivation and how do people survive these horrible institutions? You know, like we're all picturing like those people in Guantanamo. I mean, how do they survive that? How would one survive a situation like that? You know, and as America is in horrible turmoil, you're like, wow, would you end up in prison? How do you survive that? I mean, it's always part of your consciousness. At least mine, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, incarceration. I don't know. I mean, I know you have obviously a deep political sensibility, but is incarceration, has that been a topic of, I don't know, like urgency to you, like?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I'm a person of color. You know, I'm a Latin man in America, and you know, the largest two groups in prison are Latin and Black people, and you know, I know, you know,
I know from the mean streets of Forest Hills, John. You don't have to explain it to me.
Yeah, right. I know. I'm sorry if I'm talking down to you, bro. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be condescending. I know you understand the struggle. I know you're with the struggle. Yeah.
I had to walk to the school bus. Okay, on the corner, and
horrible. The injustice you had to live through is incredible. I have so much respect for you.
Thank you.
There was this great doc that came out a couple of years back called Crime and Punishment about New York City. And it was about 12 Latin and Black cops in New York who refused to fill police quotas, unspoken quotas that were gotten rid of in the 80s. And basically what cops were doing or were asked to do, you know, unspoken, was to fill the jails. And they were targeting Latin and Black kids who were just hanging out in the street and then ruining their lives. And so, you know, to me, that prison situation, the prison situation in America is horrific. You know, we have the biggest prisons, the fullest prisons, the privatized prisons become sort of a capitalist way of making money. So let's incarcerate as many people for whatever reason.
Privatized prisons. And yeah, this country is in a position, more than any place else probably, is in a position to make a change. And your film Dark Blood, which we've been talking about, is a really great example. It just shows how brutal and inhumane the prison system is, and what is the point of it? You're just sort of, you'd think at this point in our society, in our culture, in our civilization, ready to say, even just on a practical standpoint, what's the purpose of brutalizing and taking people's humanity away? Like, it just doesn't make sense. It's just would make more sense to return their humanity to them, right, help them out, and then because it would only prove the rest of our experience, but I don't know. Yeah, I was part of a program, that beautiful program that is hopefully not ending, called Go So, Get Out, Stay Out. At Rikers Island, it was self-funded. It wasn't funded by the government. We had to help raise money. I was only been part of it for the last 10 years, but it's been going on for 30. Mm-hmm. And it creates a high school for the youth in Rikers. Oh, wow. And, helps them study, helps them get programs, helps them get jobs after. And the majority, 99% of the kids don't get back into the system. They survive and they stay out. How young are these? Are the youngest? I mean, 18, 19, 20, 21. They are. So as soon as they are considered technically adults. Yeah. Another whole, point. Right. Of course. Another horror in our prison system. Yeah. Yeah, we may be turning a corner at some point. It's hard to say that and then not choke on those words a little bit. But I mean, try not to remain cynical. But I kind of feel like maybe we're closer in some ways because
well, more aware of it than we've ever been of how unjust it is and how the prison system is just a way to make money, not really to rehabilitate or get people back into the world and make better citizens out of them, but to actually maintain a prison population and a way of making money. These privatized prison thing is a horror and needs to go away.
Again, you're how do you pronounce it? I know it's the English version of the name of your character is Michael, right?
Miguel.
So it's just Miguel.
Yeah.
Okay. It's fairly straightforward. I thought it was spelled, and I wasn't.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm blanking. Misael. You're right.
Misael, which I guess is a Colombian version of Miguel.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah, Michael. I think.
I know. Yeah. I understand. But it's how do you pronounce it again?
Misael.
Which is again probably a Colombia, maybe their version of Miguel, right?
Yeah.
Version. It's the way it's their Michael. I was curious because I hadn't seen that before, but I understand this was shot in near Bogota, I suppose.
Right outside. I lived there and I lived with the majority of the actors. We all got a house together with the director and the producer, and we go through exercises and readings. It was like old school group theater. If you remember, I mean, you don't remember. I mean, in the 40s, the group theater would have these getaways, and they would go up to the country and the Berkshires and do these workshops and readings and talk about theater and have all these artists be together. It felt very much like that.
Yeah. Are you a bit of a film historian buff or?
Yeah, I'm a cinephile.
That's theater, I guess, but.
Yeah, that's theater, but it affected the way we see film. I mean, great directors came from there and great actors came from the group theater.
Certainly Elia Kazan, Harold Clurman, those guys.
One of the most famous, yep.
Yeah. Well, is there? I understand there is a musical of Dark Blood coming out. Is that true?
Well, they did a musical of Carrie, so why not?
It's true.
How successful was that? Not.
But compared to Carrie, yeah.
Who thinks, oh, Carrie, it's a horror. Let's turn that into a musical. Let's sing about whatever. Horror, the poor teenage girl being, bullied, and I don't understand where the conversation turns that into a musical.
I don't know, but I think the audiences has probably agreed with you. I think if memory serves.
Yeah, no, it didn't live long.
Is there? Do you have I think we have to wind it down shortly. But do you have when was the last time you did a one-man show?
Land History for Morons was 2019.
Oh, really recent.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I remember going and see. I'm sorry, I missed that one. But do you think you have plans for yet another?
No, I'm writing now the Great American Play. Right now it's the Not So Great American Play, but I have hope that that with a couple of rewrites it'll improve.
But this is you're talking about a more conventional
play, yeah, conventional play, yeah. A tragedy, yeah.
So wow, you really just seem to like to exercise all the artistic muscles. It's terrific.
Yeah, you know how we Latin people do. we got to do it all. Look at J-Lo. If J-Lo was a white actress, she'd be like the biggest star in the world. But she has to like dance, sing, act, go on American Idol. She has to have perfumes, clothing. She has to do it all to.
Exactly. TikTok, everything. I mean,
yeah.
Rest for a minute. Okay, so let me promote this movie properly one more time. It's called Dark Blood. It's directed by Harold Trumpetero. I got that right, yeah. And
yeah, you did.
Stars John Leguizamo and a number of other wonderful actors. Well, I'll put their names into the notes of the show so people can keep an eye out. And it's currently, I know, been on demand, and when I post this show, it'll be also available on streaming platforms. And
right.
So I'm going to really strongly urge people see this, because it's really gives you a chance to really go deep in this performance, and you do, and you're really committed. But for God's sakes, make sure the kids are sleeping.
Yeah. It's not for the family. It's not a family flick. This ain't Ice Age. This is not your family's Ice Age.
This isn't your Ice Age character quite.
No. Not at all.
All right, man. Well, this was a pleasure.
Adam, awesome. Big virtual hug, my brother.
Thank you. Same here. One Queens brother.
Queens in the house.